Cassie, we talked a little bit after the last meet, but just what going into SEC championships, what maybe are you thinking? What kind of mindset do you want to be in, and what kind of mindset what do you want everyone to be thinking about?
I guess just coming off of last weekend was a lot of fun, and I think that we all realized that. I think it was a really good balance of like focus and having fun, not to steal a line from Bo Nix, but and so I think just taking that mindset and just that I guess team chemistry into this next weekend is kind of the goal. Obviously, it's like SECs; it's a little bit more amped up, but I think that SECs in and of itself is just such a fun meet. The way that they set it up, you have gifs and photos and videos everywhere. That it's really easy to have fun, and so I think that that's going to work really well in our favor.
Is it what is it about it? Just the way it's set up, and just seeing a lot of people you're familiar with, or
Yeah,
what
just
is
kind
it?
of the vibes there. I don't know. SECs are it's always a fun meet.
Okay. So you guys, bars, 49-4. So now, I guess we can talk about bars first, but yeah, that just what was the difference? I know you mentioned, Aria set you guys up, which is really helpful, but overall with everyone, kind of what did you see with how you guys put that score together?
Yeah, I like I said, Aria was definitely a really big key role in that, but also just I think there's a lot of things behind the scenes that people like you probably don't realize, but we had a podium training day, and it was actually a little rough on bars. But so like I think that that was a really big confidence booster for us to be able to know that we can adapt and we can turn things around, like we can turn it on when we want to. And so I think taking that forward with us is a big deal. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I think it is a little bit easier for us to end on bars just because we kind of do have that momentum going, and luckily we get to do that again this weekend. So
What I guess what does it say about you guys that you were able and your teammates that you were able to have a bad podium training but still just reset and hit it when it mattered?
just that we're tough and that we're adaptable and that we can overcome like little things. And I think that that has been a little bit of an issue with us in the past, has been able to like leave things behind you and move forward. And so I think that that was a really big step forward for us as a team.
And so, okay, so you got 49-4 on bars and floor and beam are good. So vault, just I know this is a Jeff question, but just what do you think you guys need to do, or maybe individually, or whatever you want to speak to on what do you think you guys need to do to get to vault to that level?
Hmm. I think that a lot of people are trying to like compete differently than they practice on vault because we really do practice very well and people are very predictable on vault in practice, but then you get to a meet and you kind of see a lot of people doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And so I think that that's kind of another bit of that adaptability factor is just like, yeah, when you go to a podium it affects vault probably more than other events, but being able to just take each turn for what it is, like make small adjustments, not let any like big errors get to you and just keep moving forward. And so I think that the fact that we were able to do that on bars was very helpful, and I think that it will help translate onto vault for this weekend.
With podium, is it just the runway? Is it just that there's more surface area for
It's just
podium to
bouncier.
bounce?
Like
Yeah.
you have a very specific rhythm to your run down the vault runway, and when it bounces you extra, like it can mess up like your run, your hurdle, and that's kind of the most important part of your vault. So
Yeah, and I feel like I mean, in past years, like I think about the Florida meet in 2022 when you nailed the 1.5, I think, right? I feel like you've done really well on vault, hitting when you need to and hitting at the right time. I guess, is there any secret to that? Or is there any, how does that happen? Is it just adrenaline or how do you make that happen?
I
How
don't
do,
know. I think it's just a consistent mindset. I think I try not to change it too much from meet to meet, and just um, I don't think about it in the moment like, oh, like they need me to hit. I just keep everything the same for the most part. I'm always trying to do it more. Um, I don't know how to describe it.
just trying to be your average, right?
Just
That's what
try
you
to be
guys talk about.
consistent, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so, but in practice and with this group, do you see a vault possibility to where you guys are at regionals and everyone hits and it could be a really high score? Like, what do you see out of you guys in
For
practice?
sure. I do think, like I said, with bars, I think it really does have a lot to do with the front of the lineup as well. Because I think when you look at the meets where we have been clicking on vault, like you see, like we start off really strong, and then we're able to carry that into the back half of the lineup. And so I think once we see those front people settle down a little bit more and just do we know that they're capable of doing, I think that that's when we'll really be able to light it on fire.
How many teams do you think like starting on beam? I think you guys are probably
Not very
weird.
many, probably.
But you guys go up there and do it, right? You
Yeah,
guys like
we
it.
like it. Jeff told us that the other day in practice, and I think we cheered.
It seems like you guys might be an outlier, but just what does that kind of say about you guys? It seems like that's a pretty fearless,
Yeah, it
fearless
just shows
quality
how
to
much
have.
confidence we have in our beam team, like that we know that, because you always want to start off a meet strong, and so just to be able to enjoy starting on that event because we know we're able to start it off strong, I think that speaks volumes about our beam squad.